This is Mac from JLPTbootcamp.com, here with another JLPT N5 grammar lesson. Today going to go over the Japanese particle de. This is a very versatile little particle. You can use it actually 4 different ways. The first use is at, in, on, place, where an action takes place. And that's the key here. An action has to be taking place at this location in order for you to use it. So for example, this sentence, watashi wa kisaten de benkyou suru. I study at the coffee shop, at a very formal coffee shop. Take note here, there's an action taking place. I'm physically studying at that location. So if you are talking about existence, you cannot use de. You have to use ni. So if you look at these 2 sentences, neko wa ie ni iru. So the cat is in the house. Can't use de. The cat has to be doing something if you want to use de in this particular situation. Same with bagu. Bagu wa kuruma ni aru. So the bag is in the car, basically. The bag isn't doing anything, it's not doing any actions, so it's ni. Now, second use of de means by, with, or using, and this can be used to describe both a method and a tool. So in English, if English is your native language, we use by for a method and with a tool. But in Japanese, by and with, we combine those, it's always de. So for example, method, Kyoto e densha de itta. So I went to Kyoto by train. And that's the method. I went to go to Kyoto, so we use de with densha. Now, with a tool, Skype de hanashimashita. Skype, the internet phone messenger. So that's a tool that we're using. Same thing, we're using de in that particular situation. It doesn't matter if it's a method or if it's a tool. We both use de. And this can also be used for abstract things like time and money. So let's look at some examples for that. For example, for time, we have eki made 30 分で aruita. So it took me, or I walked to the station in 30 minutes. For time, it took, or you could also translate it that as, I guess, it took me 30 minutes to walk to the station. For money, we can use it in a very similar way. Kono pan wa 60 yen de katta. So I bought this bread for 60 yen. Same way. Just put the de after the amount of money or the amount of time that you've used. You can use it in that particular situation. So, are you with me so far? Let's have a little short pop quiz here. Is this sentence correct? Watashi wa kisaten de iru. No. You can't usually use de with iru or aru. This is really important, very easy to mess up. So keep that in mind for the test and just for Japanese in general. You can't use de with iru or aru. Usually, there's some situations where you can use it, but just keep in mind an action has to be taking place in order for you to use de. Now, on to the third use. Third use, and it means and, because of, or due to. It's used to show a weak, casual relationship. This is kind of used, it's used to connect na adjectives. Now, if you remember, or if you haven't studied it yet, for e adjectives, for example, what's a good e adjective? For example, oishii. means delicious. So ends with the E sound. If you want to connect those E adjectives together, you need to change out the E to kute. So something kute, and then another E adjective after that. That's how you connect E adjectives together. Now for na adjectives, we would use de. So for example, this sentence, kirei de ripa na hoteru da. Because this has a loose meaning of because it's beautiful, it's a splendid hotel. It's not that exact meaning. It's a little looser than that. It's not a direct connection, but it's more of it's the beauty, kirei, or the prettiness is adding to the hotel. So you can notice the weak connection here between pretty and splendid. The prettiness of the hotel adds to the splendor of the hotel. Kirei is adding to ripa. Kirei is not adding to hoteru. So keep that in mind when you're kind of gluing these together. You have to make sure that the na adjective that's using the de is adding to the na adjective following it. And at first glance, this is kind of a weird use. At first glance, this use seems to be kind of close to the second use, meaning with or by. It's very similar. So, for example, if you look at this sentence, o ame de densha wa tomatta. The trains stopped because of the big storm. You could also kind of translate this as with the big storm, the trains stopped, or by the big storm, the train stopped. That's not exactly correct English, but you can kind of understand that the heavy rain is what caused the train to stop. The big difference here is that oame is something beyond your control, and that's when we use this de. If it's something beyond your control and it causes something, that's the relationship, that's the reason why the train stopped, then we use de in that particular situation. We can use de in that particular situation. All right, again, pop quiz. Which of the following sentences is correct? Number 1, Tanaka-san de Ringo o tabeta. Number 2, te de Ringo o tabeta. Or number 3, watashi de Ringo o tabeta. So, obviously the correct answer is number 2, te de Ringo o tabeta. So I use my hands, or with my hands, I ate the apple. Obviously, we can't say Tanaka-san de. With Tanaka-san, I'm eating the apple. Or we also can't say watashi de. You can't use yourself to eat the apple. So, all right. The fourth and final use, at, on, time. And this is used to indicate when something ends. We use de for that. It implies that an action continued until this point. So for example, kono party wa 10 de owarimasu. The party ends at 10 o'clock. So the party was continuing, it's going on, and then at 10 o'clock it finished. And so to use this de in this particular situation, it's usually followed by an action, and it is assumed that an opposite state existed before the action happened. Here it's owarimasu, finished. So we assume that before that time the party was going on. So this is different than the ni particle that marks time as well, because ni is more general use for time, whereas this de marks a change. It's changing a state from one state to the opposite state, the opposite situation, to start to finish, to going on to finish, or open to close, or whatnot. We would use this day, this fourth use of day. All right, do you remember all of the uses of day? There's 4 of them. Do you remember them all? Let's go over them one more time before we finish here. First use, at, in, on, place, where an action takes place. Again, you cannot use it with verbs of existence, aru or iru. Usually, there's some situations that you can, but for the most part, if something is not doing something, you can't use day. It has to be an action is taking place in a particular area. Second use, by, with, or using. This can be used to describe both a method and a tool. Third use, and because of or due to. This is used to show a weak causal relationship between two things. It can also be used to connect na adjectives together in a sentence. In the fourth use, at, on, time, this is used to indicate when something ends. It implies that an action continued until this point. So you're changing the state of whatever the subject is. All right, that's it. That's the four uses. Go out there and make use of day today. This has been a grammar explanation video from the JLPT Bootcamp Premium site. Inside the site, you will find some extra goodies, for example, some cheat sheets for all of the videos. And those cheat sheets include a few things. For example, some common mistakes that people make, as well as some example test questions for the JLPT. If you're interested in taking the JLPT and you want that extra edge, something to kind of push you above and get the points that you need to pass, I encourage you to stop by the website at jlptbootcamp.com/premium. There you can find the cheat sheets as well as some extra practice with the grammar points that I've been talking about today. Hope to see you in the premium site very soon. This has been Mac from jlptbootcamp.com.